Hey guys, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode here at Grizzly Talk podcast. Have your co-host at Mike on the mic here. I'm with the
Got
wonderful,
David Alvarez F _ on Instagram.
and we got a special guest here today, Mr. Ski Entertainment Man. How you doing?
Hi guys, I'm doing good. It's
Uh,
good to be here.
awesome, man. So again, thank you so much for coming out. And you want to introduce yourself? Tell people a little bit about what you do. I'm gonna fix your microphone right there. Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm Ski Entertainments. Like I go by Ski, and we throw underground raves in Fresno. So that's mainly what we do
Mhm.
these days. And yeah,
Yeah, I know that's how we connected. I had seen that you had posted on threads
mhm.
about, throwing an event, kind of looking for, some stuff. You want to talk about an event you guys have coming up? I know you have one this month and then a bigger one coming up in February, but
Yeah. So right now we have like a upcoming unofficial Woolies afters on 27th of December. That's gonna be like one of our afters for Woolies. It is closed like, and then we have like another coming up like for a big event on February and February 15th, I believe so.
mm,
It's called Red Roses Music Festival, and that's gonna be our biggest. We're collabing with some of the people from LA, and it's gonna be going from 3 p.m. all the way till 1 a.m. 1 a.m. in the morning. So
what are
like
you
12 hours of non-stop fun and
nonstop
dance.
party?
Yep.
That's the one in February.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Wow. And
Okay.
so, can you give us a little bit of background about yourself, like where you come from, how you got, maybe where you come from to maybe when you started throwing these events or getting into these events?
That's good. So I've been throwing events for last 6 months
Mhm.
so far, but I have been thrown like 8 to 9 events, I think so. Yeah, 9 events in total
In 6 months?
in six
Oh,
months.
sure.
So we
Wow.
have been doing, we have been, I've been quite a busy doing that. And before that, like I used to be a truck driver.
Oh, sweet.
Mm.
Okay.
So I travel all around the country. Like I go to all kind of raves and stuff in every different like part of the state.
Mhm.
So that makes me like, okay, like let's do something like that in Fresno. And then I was thinking, and then one of my friends like, what's stopping you? Just do it. I like, yeah, but like we need this. He's like, we will figure it out. Just do it. And then I go into like meet some people, make some connections, talk to some of the DJs, and like talk to some of the sound people. They're like, yeah, if you have a space, we can do it. I like, okay. Then I start looking for the space. We got a space. Then rest is history. We're throwing events since then.
Yeah.
Wow. So, like, how, so you just were like, kind of just dove into it and were like, we're going to figure this out. Did you ever work with anybody that threw an event in the past or
No.
ever helped anybody?
I've been to Life in Beautiful. That's like a big LIB, like a in Bakersfield that festival that happens.
And you said LIB?
Yeah,
Lightning in a bottle?
Lightning in the Bottle.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love that festival.
I've been there, but I was been there as a volunteer for the Do Labs, and I was making pizzas over there.
Mm.
So like, besides that, I haven't been any part of any other collectives to be like working behind the scenes or like how to get like talk to a DJ or managers and stuff like that. I don't even like funny thing like last event, I didn't even know that there's like a riders for the DJs that comes along with that.
Mm.
So you have to give them like a free like drink or like a free like drink bucket or stuff like that just for them as a green room.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, I didn't like because like I'd never been part of this industry and I just dive into it,
Mhm.
and from there like okay, I still get some of the like new like terms and shit. I was like, okay, I have to Google it and ask ChatGPT what does that particular term means.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Writer, you said, right?
yeah, right.
It's crazy that you mentioned that because I was actually listening to a podcast today and they were talking about throwing events and the writers and how some artists like are super difficult and different people,
Hmm.
but they were saying that that they would throw certain writers just as a joke to see how committed these productions were
Hmm.
to fulfilling them. So they
Yeah.
would ask like, I want my Skittles sorted, or I want there to be like an elf and a Santa
Hmm.
in my suite. And
Yeah.
it's like, putting that sort of stuff together.
Yeah, especially like music industry, especially like a rave or like this the scene, like people are fun to work with, and they're like some like jokester and pranksters too that you will love to work, and you're like, really, you really want this thing to be in your green room, and you just have to be like gotta be on the same wavelength and like try to like recognize they're making a joke or they're just like pulling your leg, because big artists can tell when a promoter when there's like a new promoter. So
Mhm,
like if you've been in industry, you can tell how the promoter is talking to you. Is he's a new promoter or he's like been in this field for long.
mhm.
So you have to be careful like the wordings and stuff too.
Yeah. Would you say that's something that surprised you when you started getting into this industry?
For me, it was just like I'm gonna do it and
Mhm,
I'm gonna learn. And I always believe like hey, as long as I'm learning and improving 1% every
mhm.
event, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
That's what I aim for every event, and that's what our like main goal has been.
Mhm,
Because like you can make like production better, you make a sound system better, you can have like better layout for the event, you can make like better deals for the attendees, you can have like a better DJ. So it's like so much that you can improve on, and you can take like one step at a time to make sure like everybody's having good and fun time.
mhm. And what got you into raving? Would you say it was like an event you attended, or did you just love the music, and or was it a certain DJ? What got you into not even throwing the events, just like raving? Would you say you have to have a passion for raving to be able to throw an event like this?
Yes and no at the same time, because like only because you love dancing or you love the music does not make sure that you'll be able to handle the pressure and logistics that involve in throwing an event. But at the same time, if you don't have the passion, that does not make you feel burnt out. So it just like depend how as a person you are, and then
Mhm,
where you want to see yourself growing as individual. And like because raving is good, like it give you a chance to just enjoy and be yourself, enjoy the party, enjoying the like atmosphere, music, dance to what nobody like judge or care you how you dress up and everything. So you do need to have some kind of passion, but it's not the must thing.
mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And what got you into it? What got you into the scene?
For me, it was always just like nobody like it's just like a no like a no judgment zone. It's like a
Mhm,
free zone. You could be yourself.
mhm,
You don't have to be like oh like you can just enjoy the music. You can just be dance around. There's nobody is just preventing you to not do that.
mhm,
So it's like more of like a freedom of choice
mhm.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I know you're pretty new in the industry. Like you said, what, 8 months now that you
Yeah.
have been throwing it?
We knew, but like we have been throwing like we thrown like almost 9 events. I think in six
Yeah, no,
months,
that's a
nine
lot of
events.
experience.
that's a lot
I
of
know
experience.
some collectives. I won't call a name, but they have been around forever. They haven't thrown like even their first event.
Yeah.
So like just
Oh wow.
don't kind of like judge us on like us being like in 6 months. Judge on us like oh how many events we have been doing
No,
it.
yeah, you guys been doing a lot.
Yeah.
How exactly are you guys doing everything? Are you doing everything yourself or?
I do have my team that helps me out with the like the production and stuff. I have my residence DJs who like with me, but I try to get like every new DJ, like every try to make sure like every event, like every new event, there should be like a new DJ, whether it's coming from like Fresno, whether it's coming from Merced, whether it's coming from LA, whether it's coming from close by like Prismo, like some areas. I always try to get some new people on the lineup.
How important is having a team? Like, do you think you could have done everything on your own or?
Oh no, you need to have a team. You need to have a team, especially when you're running like this production, because like team will help you. It give you different perspective. It let you take off the load because if you try to do everything, you won't be able to be even able to remember how the event went, because you're gonna as the person who's responsible for everything, you will get pulled away everywhere at the same time. And then if you don't know how to handle and dedicate your task to your teams, and like you will not be able to do survive in this industry.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's like that for every business. It's really hard to do something on your own, and I'm kind of grateful for our little team because uh, there's so much things. If it was just me and Mikey doing this like by ourselves, we would have probably done like one every like 2 3 weeks. Like there's I feel like it's very important to have like a full team. Like Luis, he's like at the end. Luis, he comes at the end, but he played a big role in this. Like there's times where like right now we're super duper busy, right? And Luis is right there, like pushing us, pushing us, pushing us. Like I think he's the reason why we even had a podcast today. Like he's all like, "Hey, we got to get on top of it."
He's our
So
quality control
yeah,
for
so
sure.
Yeah, I mean,
I
like you,
feel like a team is very
yeah,
important.
you need that core or like a member of like at least three or more people,
Yeah.
because when you have two people, then like you will like argue, like you will have like a discussion battle, but you have a third person that can act as a referee and
Yeah.
just make like, hey guys, okay, we can do this and this, kind of like making sure like he's like a glue to you guys, right? Like everything, you guys
The
are different
mediator.
Yeah.
mediator, and like he will, and the same thing, like you sometimes you act as the mediator, some like he act as the mediator. Like it needs to be like core three plus people team, and
Mhm.
that's how
Yeah.
like we are too, I think. Me and like Havoc is another DJ that been with me from the first day one, and then now we have like a more people that comes out with us. So, like it just like becomes a core team, because I would be wrong sometimes, because like, hey, like nobody want to tell no to me, but I need people who can say no to me, like, hey Ski, this is not the way we should go. Ski, we should do this. Ski, we should. And like I'll take all those things into kind of factors, and like, okay, like, yeah, you guys were right, like I was making mistake, or like, because
How hard is it to learn that skill? The
you live and learn. I'm not saying like I haven't made mistakes. I have made mistakes, but again, learning from them, improving 1% every event. That's how you're gonna keep going and growing and scaling it. Because like if you just stuck at like, oh, I made a mistake, oh, I can't do it. No, that whatever happened, it happened. Now what you do with that learning experience, that's what matters going forward.
Mm.
So that's the one thing that you have to keep in mind.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you guys each specialize in kind of something different, or do you think that's what makes the team? Or
Yeah, it's like I am not a music person as a sound. Like I can't, if you say like, hey, can you mix? Like I'm not a DJ. Like I might learn that skill going forward, but like right now I'm not the person who will be like, oh, I don't know, this is good DJ. Like which is what's the difference between like a hard style techno or acid techno or like different kind of genre. Like for me, it's a BPM. It's like fast or slow. Whereas like other people like DJs like Havoc, he has strong suit in like his mashups, his like bringing the energy, bringing like looking out for like a new talent and everything. But yeah, getting back to it, like you need to know your lineup, and after that you need to have a space to throw it, and if you don't have a space, it really get hard.
Mhm.
um I think those are three, and vendors do play important role, but like if you don't have vendors, it's not the end of the world,
Mhm.
because like people are already this. Yeah, it's not the end of the world, but having a vendor make it easy, because it kind of help you as a sponsorship. So like you can charge like a vendor fee, and they can be like, okay, like that's something that money go to your pocket that can help through the event next time, and like stuff like that.
Mhm. And how do you go about? I know you mentioned a little bit about getting DJs, a new DJ, and you have Havoc that helps you spot talent.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go about contracting these DJs or these artists?
Most likely, like we like you just give them a call, like send them a DM, and then ask like, hey, we doing this? Like, will you be able to come and play for us? Depending on how big and how like niche artist is, it just depend on their manager. If they have a manager, like if they're just starting new, most likely it depends on like a follower account, what kind of pull they have to the tickets. Are they able to sell tickets? So like I can call myself a DJ, but if I'm not even able to bring five friends of mine, then is I'm a really DJ? Like I can't bring my own five people. So that's kind of like a litmus test paper
Hmm.
for me. Or like, yeah, like if you are able to get like people on a guest list, like especially for like a new DJs like who does not have that much live set experience, we usually do like, hey, if you're able to get that many people on a guest list, that's a free guest list, we are able to give you a shot on a lineup.
Hmm.
That's what we used to do, but now we're like switching to more like, if you can have your fans or your friends or family to tag you in our post,
Hmm.
and we're gonna see how many people tagged you, then we're gonna have you put you on the lineup like a context, like a We
Like a
have to
trial.
like a
How many
yeah.
people? How many people do they have to have in order for you to get them?
It's depends on like a greater number of the tags. Like greater people ask them. It's not there's no like a peak like you have the minimum this number. It just depends how many people have. The greater the number of the tags, greater that you will be the winner. Does that make like if you have like a 50 people who tags you in one comment
Mm-hmm.
and there's another 45 people who tags you, that does not mean the 45 one is bad than like 50 is better than the 41 45. We're probably going to give a chance to the other one too, but like not be for this lineup, maybe for the next lineup. So you
Mm-hmm.
can gonna have like a that if it is a if it is a close call.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like somebody's like five tags and somebody who's like already 70 people tagging him on the same post,
Mm-hmm.
you can see like okay, this guy has more lot pull to the attendees, and they're gonna bringing out more people and energy to the crowd to the lineup. And like lineup is most important because like that just creates set up the whole mood for the rest of the night.
Mm-hmm.
So the open spot is really important.
Yeah. Do you guys give DJs opportunities to maybe get an audience or maybe get some fans
Yeah,
at the
we
events and
we
maybe they
we all like I always put new DJs. Like one thing that I can tell about my ski events, going from last event all the way till back, you can see like I have regulars, but I have always new DJ every time. And like you can just come and tag me or send me your mix clip. We already have like artist submission form on our web on our Instagram. You can put artist submission over there. My team listens to that. And if you're good at that, and if you're like, hey, I will bring the crowd, I can bring people, I can hype the whole thing. Even if you bring a good energy on the first day, first set, we will put you back on because you're having fun over there.
Mm-hmm.
Most important, if you're having fun, people are gonna have fun as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if everybody's having fun, I'm having fun as well. So we'll
Yeah.
bring you back again.
Yeah. You talked a little bit about trial and error. Well, could you tell us maybe some of like the big like hard lessons you learned along the way so far, maybe some mistakes you've made and
I mean,
kind
like,
of came back from?
yeah, everybody make mistakes. Like, be intentionally like say the things even those things sound stupid, but make sure you both are on same page. Even if you think, oh, this is a common sense, to you that might be a common sense. Maybe for the other person, they're looking from a different perspective, different lens. And if you put those things out in the world, it is easy to put like have on the same page. And if you don't, sometimes those things come bite and haunt you. So yeah.
Yeah. Is there any like horror stories or anything maybe you could tell us about?
There's no like horror stories or like anything because like it's just events. It's just like you mismatch like in like setting up a menu, like setting up a menu for drinks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like okay, like we can make the jungle juice or like stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh,
you knew the
yeah.
jungle juice how to do it, right? Yeah. And like, yeah. And for them, they were thinking about different recipe. I was thinking about different recipe. So it's like we're talking about the same thing, but like it's a we I did not put into name words like, hey, we want this. So like I let have like open to assumption, and at that when like expectations are not met, you're like, oh shit, now we just wasted so much liquor.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
that's kind of like those like stories,
Yeah.
but nothing to like yeah.
Yeah. What about like some things that have really worked?
What was that? Excuse me.
What about some things that have really worked for you?
Oh, just communicate.
Mm,
Communicate, make sure like everybody's on the same page. Make sure like everybody know this is this is a safe place. They can talk to you. They can have like good communication, and talk to them. Need ask if they need any help, and like just have a set plan and
mm,
like follow a good timeline
mm,
because sometimes you are not like is so much to do and like time just pass quickly. You're like, oh, this thing is left, and something's not working, and you're just if it's not working, it's not working. It's not time to be just stuck on that. Just move to next thing.
mm.
So that's like a main things that you should be talking to with your team.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's a goal that you have like for next year? Do you
For
plan on like working with big artists? I honestly I'm not in the space, so I don't know who are the big artists. But do you plan on like getting to like the big like Chansey Stadium type stuff, or like what are your plans?
For my like we have goals that we have set up for like 2025, or like for summer 2025. We're trying to do like we have things planned, and like that gonna be put like Fresno on the map, and like especially like stuff that we learned from Miami, we learned from New York, we learned from San Francisco. So like the way people do those things over there is totally different that way we do over here. So I'm trying to bring those things to the Fresno and see how people react, and like how they're like, okay, but we're gonna have fun times in summer, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe like a rave summer pool party or something. I don't know if you can find
You,
somewhere a location for that.
things in work for me, like I wouldn't able to say it, because like once we're done the deals, then only I will be able to like, okay, yeah, we're doing this.
Hmm.
But what things in process, like we will have fun.
Yeah.
The things are planned, like especially for March, April, May, June, like those 4 months.
Hmm.
And July is gonna be like good stuff. We're
Yeah.
trying to do like, yeah, bringing more people.
Yeah. If we can make like with clipping this in mind, right? If you can tell the viewers, listeners, like what could they expect at your event? Like the music, is there any food, drinks? Obviously you mentioned good atmosphere, but if we can make it into a clip,
Hmm.
right? How would you explain it?
So like if you come into ski events, you're gonna have fun times, you're gonna have good music, safe place, nobody judging you, new DJs every event, food. We're gonna have some vendors as well.
What kind of food?
We usually go with like tacos, and we sometimes have like hot dogs as well, like a street dog hot dogs, and I think that's only we have done, right?
Mm. Drinks.
We have the like drinks as well, and like we strictly doing like 21 plus only.
Mhm.
So like that's what main goal is, but like for the next year we're trying to get like maybe touching 18 plus, but we're still working on those are like hard like details, but yeah.
Yeah, because you probably have to split like wristbands
Yeah,
or do something.
it's a lot of manpower that get involved into it, and like it's it kind of become headache, because like people are when they are drunk, it's really hard to, it's just like hard to control like kids. Like when people get drunk, they're just little kids, and you never know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, yeah,
So a lot of manpower needs to be working on those things, and numbers doesn't make sense at that time. So like you're like,
mhm,
okay, won't be able to touch 18.
yeah. Um, I know when you're throwing these events, you're super busy, right? Do you get a chance to enjoy these events, or what does an event night look like for you?
For me, I never like when you're throwing your events, you're always busy running around everywhere. Something, oh, we're out of ice, or we this thing happened, or somebody's QR code is not scanning, or like, hey, the security needs something, or like, hey, we are out of wristbands. So like I'm running everywhere, and the only way that like the enjoyment that I get when I'm standing far away, maybe by the security, and I'm just looking into like from outside looking in, and having people dancing and having fun of their life, and just going like enjoying the fullest, that make me happy.
Yeah,
That make me like, man, this is worth it.
yeah,
This is worth it. I'm having like people are enjoying, having fun. They don't know anything going on. They are in the moment.
yeah.
And I was like, and this is why I do it.
That's where the
Yeah,
satisfaction comes
that's
from.
where like you're like, yeah, this is the happiness, like
Yeah.
enjoyment.
Do you have any like rave stories where, you had a great time at a rave, or what's one of the first raves you've ever went to?
My first, I went to EDC Orlando. I was in Florida. I think I went for 1 day.
For one day
For one
when
day.
you were truck driving out
Yeah,
there? Yeah.
I was truck driver, so I had like a time in between. So I was like, hey, I talked to my dispatcher, like, hey, I'm not, I will pick the load next day,
Mhm.
or like 2 days in between. He's like, okay, it was I think Friday. I think it was Friday night, and he did not have a load, and we have to pick up a load on a Monday night. So like, okay, I have a good hours, and then one of my friends over there, he was like, hey, I have an extra ticket. I was like, okay, I'll jump in. So I went with them, and that was fun.
Yeah.
That was good memories.
What's the craziest story you've had at a rave?
Craziest stories.
Or your favorite
Yeah.
rave
So
story?
So I'm not in the scene like I said earlier, but I have been to a rave here in Fresno. And as soon as I walked in, cause I go a lot to Mexican events,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when you walk in, you don't see no ambulance. I walked into the rave, took Chansey, and I saw like 4 or 5 ambulances,
Mm-hmm.
and people were passing out like crazy
Mm-hmm.
because everyone was rolling, and it's like,
They get dehydrated.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's the craziest thing you've seen? Because I'm pretty sure you've seen crazier than me.
Craziest, like, um, hell, most of craziest I don't remember.
No.
That's why it's
That's
crazy.
why it's crazy.
Craziest, but like, no, people are having good times. There's nothing like crazy about it. During like raves, like people have their medical tents and everything. So like they go away if you blacking out, if you black out. Medical tent, they will just come in, they pick you up, they'll take you to the medical tent, they will like give you IV, they will give you food and make sure like you are safe. It is, I know, like rave have this stigma of like drug use and everything, which is true, but like on the same end, like it is a safe environment for people to be themselves. Like there's harm reduction camps everywhere in the rave. Like there's like I'm big supporter of doing like a harm reduction, especially like our ski entertainment. I have this and overdose, so we partnered with them, and then we have like if you have like an end overdose Narcan certification,
Mhm.
you like I would pay for your ticket for my events. So if you have Narcan certification from end overdose, you can come to my event for free.
Wow. Nice.
So that's one step that I have taken up,
Hmm.
because like you can't stop everyone.
Yeah.
Somebody they're gonna find whatever ways they're gonna find it,
Yeah.
but you can help to reduce the harm,
Hmm.
and that's what we try to do.
Yeah. What's one of your favorite rave stories? Not necessarily, maybe not at one of your events, because like you said, you don't get to enjoy them as
Mm-hmm.
if you're an attendee,
Mm-hmm.
but as an attendee to other rave events, what would you say is one of your favorite rave memories?
I think EDC Orlando was a good, because like I wasn't planning on it to it, and that just happened to be it. And like I met like so many people from different part of world.
Hmm.
Like I met some people from Italy, I met some people from New York, I met some people from India, which was surprising. I'm like, damn, what are you guys doing? Like you don't like think
Hmm.
like how big it is, and making friends. And I'm still friends with them. Like they still invite me, like, hey, like whenever you come to Miami, let us know. Like you have like you don't have to pay for the hotel. Like we will, like you can live with us like for the days.
Yeah.
Like I think those are the best like friendships that you make, and it's so cool. Like you won't be talking to them, or you will be sending them like a rave reels like on the Instagram, back and forth, and
Hmm.
that's just like a friendship that's like there's no ulterior motive to it. So it's
Yeah.
like the
Yeah,
best.
that's definitely different for like the EDM scene. I have a lot of friends that I went to high school with, and the majority of them are all EDM. And I always see like it could be two completely different groups that I would not think they know each other, but because they go to raves, somehow they met each other, and they're go to each other's houses.
Mm-hmm.
They'll travel all the way to LA. They'll travel all the way to San Francisco. I think I think one of them lives like in Nevada. No, not Nevada, Arizona, and they'll
Mm-hmm.
travel to Arizona, and they'll just go for like a birthday like
Mm-hmm.
dinner or something like that. And I've seen rave people, they tend
Yeah.
to stick together. Like,
It's just like you create those special bond, because like it's a place where nobody judging you.
Hmm.
Like it does not matter where you come from, like who you are. Because I have rave party with the people like doctors, engineers, neurosurgeon. I have met few people from NASA. That guy, he literally is designer for NASA. Like he designed rocket ships. He's literal rocket scientist.
that's crazy.
And me and him, we were like dancing on like the rail. Like, we were just being drunk and just like enjoying this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like you will see people like from all part of like life. Like I've seen people like old people, they're just having their families with their kids, especially like lightning in the bottle. It's such an included experience that you will see like families bringing their kids with their muffler headphones so they protect the ears. But like you will see just random people,
Yeah.
random stuff. But it's all in like a safe place.
The first rave I've ever went to was actually Lightning in a Bottle,
Mm-hmm.
and at the time it was when Lightning in a Bottle was in Monterey County at
Mm-hmm.
San Antonio Lake. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you've ever attended when it was there. This
No,
was like,
you're talking about like a
yeah, this is like 5, 6 years ago, maybe back in like
yeah,
2017 or
yeah,
so.
16, 17.
But everybody from that area, that if you lived next to San Antonio, it was like a zip code. Lightning in a Bottle provided everybody with free passes,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was able to attend, and I had never been before, but I loved it. One of my best concert moments. I call it a concert. It was a festival, but I had never experienced music like that. I've never experienced a festival like that or anything like it. And I remember I was just blown away by how friendly people were,
Mm-hmm.
but also I remember everybody's just so in the moment there. Like I was almost embarrassed to pull my phone out because nobody was on their phone. Everybody was just there fully in the moment. And I remember one of my favorite EDM artists till this day is Big Wild. I
Mm-hmm.
got to see, I don't know if you're familiar with him,
Mm-hmm.
but I got to see Big Wild live, and there's this song he has. It's like a remix, but it's called Talking to Myself.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, I can go back to that moment, and it's been so many years, but it was just amazing. Like I'll never forget what it was like in that moment. And I'm kind of a claustrophobic
Mm-hmm.
person,
Mm-hmm.
so I get freaked out in crowds, but there I was just so in the moment. And I remember looking back, and I was probably like there the crowd is probably like a football field or
Mm-hmm.
more,
Yeah.
just completely filled, a sea of people,
Mm-hmm.
and I was probably like right in the middle of it, like not that far away from the stage, but I didn't freak out. It was just like it was a
Yeah.
beautiful experience,
Yeah.
honestly.
It's like a if you like it make you like a feel safe. It's a safe environment. Everybody's have good intentions.
Mm.
Everybody over there is just like trying to help you, trying to make sure like even if you are having like a panic attack or even if you're like, oh, I'm not part of this, they will give you space. They're like, hey, how about you sit down? How hey, I have this chair. Hey, I have a water. You want a water? They will help you out because they want to make sure that you're having a fun, you are enjoying the time
Hmm.
and like just in the moment. And then I'm pretty sure like even now if you recall it, that kind of like that song that can kind of make you kind of like feel emotional about that stuff because you it make a good memory in you and it's just like you enjoy that recall and it's good.
Yeah,
That's all the Rave Community is about.
yeah, yeah. No, it was amazing. I saw a zoo there too, or
Mm-hmm.
ZHU. Is am I saying
I
that
think
right?
Zook like Zouk.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but he was amazing as well. But yeah, definitely, I'm excited to attend one of your events. I'm sure we're gonna have a
Mm-hmm.
great time as well. And yeah, definitely.
Well, right
You
back
ready?
at it.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, man, thank you so much for coming in, man. How you feeling today?
Again, it's good. It's a little bit cold but good. We've been doing good.
Cold, cold, cold for sure, man.
Yeah.
It has been cool.
My first question is, how do you feel about the rave community here in Fresno, and how do we compare it to other cities?
It's gonna be hot take, and I'm gonna say that um, Fresno is small. It's like a big town as compared to nearby towns, but it's a big town with a small town mentality. Which that means like we don't push each other to grow big. We just try to push each other towards like, oh, this is my event. You shouldn't be going to this one. So like, it's a lot of like negativity in the community, but at the same time, like everything has like a bad apples in it. So there's bad apples in every community.
Well,
Definitely.
how can we as a rave community get better? And I say we because I've been to plenty of rave events myself, and I love that community.
Just support your local DJs. Just support the local people that you love the music. Just go to every event. Um, you are here, like go buy their tickets. Like I'm pretty sure all the tickets are like $5, $5 to $10. And if you're buying those tickets, you're supporting your friend who is playing as a DJ. Mostly that money goes to like the like at least for us, like we try to give it back if we're making any profit out of it. But mostly like it's good to support your friends because if you don't support your friends, they're not able to play more shows. So like it's just like do better.
There you go.
Hmm.
Next question. Oh, you mentioned something about the raving community that I really like, which is that there's it's like a judgment free zone,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of like what I really loved about it because like in comparison to the club scene, and I feel like that's kind of like why the club scene died, right? Because of how much like the minute you walk into a club, it's almost like you're immediately judged and like something always happens there.
Mm-hmm.
The
So
club's like almost like who's the coolest or how cool you are or
exactly. So
trying to be cool.
how
Yeah.
do you feel about that?
Yeah, definitely. Like the rave community is like close, like net connections, and like people don't judge and provide a safe place for everyone. But like if you are like somebody who's coming with bad intentions, they kind of get that quickly as well because they are with that in community. So I think you're right. Like clubs, like it's a edgy point. Like people have bad intentions going to raves. From club people going to rave, it's just like God. But like when rave people go to club, they don't enjoy the music either. They're like, nah, this is not. We need something different music.
Mhm.
And the people over there, like club, is just like judging and just like a lot of, especially like in Central, like in our Fresno, it's just like a lot of like people that's with bad intentions that try to hurt people and stuff like that. So like yeah, that's the I think rave community is better.
That's what kind of kept me away from the club scene
Yeah,
because it's like every I'm the type of person that I don't like pushing issues when I go out. I like enjoying my time with my friends, but it was like half of the time that I was going out, something was happening.
yeah. There's always bunch of fights. It's just like
Yeah.
people who just turned 21. They don't know how to handle the liquor, and they just like ugly scene. It's just like yeah,
Do,
man, come on.
do you feel like that's part of management or feel like that's just the club scene?
I think management can do a lot better in like
Yeah.
every club because they are the one who can control things, but at the same end they need to make money as well to make sure that things running. So I think it's just like you give what you give, you get that thing back. So like it's just like they're providing that kind of environment for the people, but I think management can do a lot better, especially clubs like searches and like have like a strict like a code, like make sure like everybody is like if we're gonna have good times, have like a good like bouncers and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of the time I'm like I've never seen a fight at a rave, but I definitely see fights all the time like outside of a club or even in the club or anything
Even
like
in
that.
bailes, huh? Like I
Yeah.
remember the last time that I was at a big like a Mexican dancing event. Oh my god, dude, it was like the whole night. It was one thing after the other.
Yeah.
Even with the hot dog man.
Yeah.
I think like in rave like people don't really get to violence. They just like you do you. I don't like if somebody's not like good on their side. You do you. I'm gonna do myself, and just we're just gonna be not talking, and that's it. Like people, that's how they keep it. But whereas in the clubs and things, they're not able to handle their liquor, and they just keep fighting, start fighting. And that's a lot. That happens a lot. And there's like a funny thing. Well, like my security head, she was talking to me, and she like, yeah, like you guys like. She's not part of the EDM scene, so she don't understand it. She's like, yeah, like this is easiest, like we don't have to worry about anything because it's just like such a cool community, such like everybody is all chill, just in the moment as you said earlier, just enjoying the music, dancing. So I think that's rave is better than the clubbing.
Than the clubbing. I
Yeah.
definitely agree. I'm not big in the rave scene, but as far as the energy, as far as the people and the time that's had, I definitely do see a big difference because in the club scene you do see it's like maybe it's the music or I don't know what it is, but it's more, if it's like a rap or depending on what type of club scene it
Mm-hmm.
is, it's like, people want to flex,
Mm-hmm.
people want to be the
Mm-hmm.
tough guy or
Yeah.
and then once the alcohol starts talking, it's definitely
Yeah,
definitely different.
definitely. Mike, we're gonna make you a rave person now. I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna see.
Yeah.
Next time I see you, I'm gonna give you some candy bracelets so like you can have your present and like give you some stickers and candies and everything.
Heck yeah.
Like we're gonna.
What's funny is that how that's kind of how me and not how me and my girlfriend met, but one of our interests because I
Mm-hmm.
was barely starting to rave when she was already kind of a raver,
Mm-hmm.
and to bring it back to that, it's funny how ravers know the sort of people that don't rave.
Mm-hmm.
So when they see those problematic people or see some of the things, like, oh, see, that's the people those are not ravers. Like the
Mm-hmm.
people that start problems,
Mm-hmm.
like those are not ravers.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell us maybe one of your rave stories?
There wasn't really nothing crazy besides, no, nothing we could speak on
You
camera.
That's all you need. It was crazy. That's all you need. It's crazy.
Those outdoor events, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean,
Or can I or no?
yeah, yeah. Let's, yeah, we're
No,
here.
no, that was another story. But the one in Nocturnal,
Mm.
I
Oh,
have I had never seen so many drugs before 4 p.m. in my life.
Before 4 p.m.
that's why you need to test all the harm reduction.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
like people still gonna do people. You can't stop anyone, but like, hey, I'd rather give you a test trip, check your stuff, make sure you're doing like a harm reduction rather than just playing with your life. That's never part of the us. Like we always want to support that
Mhm.
because like it's a part of culture. It is part of the raving movement. But like there are so many other events too, which like do like sober raves. So people are doing that as well. So like it just depends. Like right now, I think there is hot topic going around in the rave community, like sober ravers judging the
The
people who
hardcore
participates,
ravers. Yeah.
and it's just like, hey, it's the first step. We don't judge.
Mhm.
You enjoy your stuff. Let other people who enjoy it the way they want to enjoy, let them be enjoying it. But like as a safe place, like provide them a safe place in form of harm reduction.
Mhm. What do you think about silent raves, or they call it the silent disco? I recently went to, so I don't know, you're from the area, right? In Sanger, for Halloween they do a have you heard of Hobbs Grove?
Mhm.
Right? I went to Hobbs Grove recently, and it's pretty cool there because they have like a speakeasy. Do you know what a
Yep.
speakeasy is, right? So they have a speakeasy, and you need like a password to get in, and you need like a coin.
Mm-hmm.
But last year they had like a comedian show. This past year they had a silent disco,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it was one of the coolest. I don't know why, but I thought it was one of the coolest things. I've never experienced
One
like
of
that before.
one of our DJs was playing at that time.
Really?
Yeah, brand out like he was playing on the
He was
silent
playing the
disco.
bangers, bro. It
Yeah,
was, yeah.
and there's like a four channels like blue, green, red, and there was another one like yellow, I think.
Mhm.
Like four channels that you can go through it,
Yeah.
and like there's like four different stages that are playing. It's a cool concept. It's really really special. Like if you're trying to do something in like a big cities where there's like noises, like noise, like you have to be mindful of that.
Hmm.
But again, it's expensive on the
Because you got to provide, right?
on the event side of things behind scenes. It get a little expensive, and Fresno is just like Fresno. It's
Yeah.
still hard to be like careful because those things are expensive,
Yeah.
and especially if you're limited on the number of headphones you have, you will be limiting on the number of people can enjoy that scene.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like logistics wise, it's really tough to manage.
To manage something like that. Yeah. But those DJs are super talented because he had his mix going on. And I remember I went up to the DJ, and like, because the sound that he was playing, I remember I was like, you know what song would sound great with this? I told him, hey, can you play Pursuit of Happiness by
Mm.
Kid Cudi? And then he's like, oh, yeah, yeah. He's like, just nodded at me. And I was like, cool. I put my thing. And then, like, he's like, he's mixing. And then out of nowhere, I just hear, like, tell me what you know about dreaming. But he's like, it's still in the same song, but you could just hear it going on.
Yeah.
And man, it was amazing. And then what I loved about it as well is like, well, we went as a family, so like my mom was there, my aunts were there,
Mhm.
and like we just went to go get drinks, right?
Mhm.
But it was cool because I had one earphone in, and then I just slid
Slide
the
it
other
over
one.
there, and you
Now
can
we're
start
talking,
talking,
but we're dancing,
dancing.
and
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I thought it was a super cool
Yeah,
concept.
it's a good concept. I think it picked up from LA mainly because of the like all the noise audience over there. So
Mhm.
it picked up from there. I think there's only one company that rent those things out in
Mhm.
Fresno in like in Central Valley,
Mhm.
but I could be wrong too. But yeah, it's a good concept, but it's logistically nightmare.
Yeah, yeah, I'd
As
imagine.
compared to
Yeah.
like on the other side of the
Because
things.
they could die or they can run out of
Yeah.
battery and all that sort of stuff, right? Yeah.
Very nice. What are
Hmm.
some of the most important parts as a promoter, and how can you improve as the promoter?
As a like most important parts, you have to be like I consider myself as like the event organizer because like I'm not just promoting the event, I'm running the event. So I'm more like a curator about like setting up the DJ lineup, making sure right DJs, setting up the timeline, at what time which DJ will be playing, setting up the drinking menu, setting up the like the tickets, like all that. A promoter will be somebody who's just promoting the event on the side, which I do partner with other promoters who just promote the events. So that's just their job. They're gonna go do flyering out. They're gonna make like go talk to people. Hey, like you should come to this, or they're gonna have like people on the guest list. So those are promoters, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the most important part that will be with the promoters. They would know what is the most important part and how to improve the promoting stuff.
Mm-hmm. And you have maybe a promoter in your team or something along those lines.
I like per se no.
Mm-hmm.
I work with the like I work with people who are already in the community who goes as a promoter. They will promote like a bunch of shows that are happening in that weekend. So they will just like, oh, you can go to this. So just like they just do their own side,
Mm-hmm. Wow.
and
Yeah.
we provide like a guest list for them. So like people coming from them, like they will have like a free guest list pass to get to our events.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's pretty cool, and it's like, why wouldn't you support? I think that'd be a great event to
Mhm.
go to, and it's like, what club, bro, can you go to for $5 entrance fee?
None that I could think of right now. So
None,
this is the place that you probably want to be.
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah,
And
awesome.
then we have like another event we'll be doing in February. That's gonna be going from 3 p.m. all the way till 1 a.m. in the morning. So like 12 hours, give or take 12 hours. No, it'll be 10 hours of non-stop dancing, having fun with your friends. And we have like open guest list right now. If you come before 6 p.m., you can get it for free. All you have to
Wow.
go to our Instagram page, comment guest list, and then I will send you a link. You sign up, and you have get a free ticket.
Wow.
My good Rave community, you know where to be at now.
Definitely got to be there, man. You got any further questions, man?
What's some where would you see yourself in like the next year? What's something that you would really like to do?
Right now we do. I want to bring big people, big artists to Fresno,
Hmm.
and try to put a Fresno on a map. But we're trying to do some experiments in like throwing events.
Hmm.
So summer 2025 gonna be really good. We're hoping the way we're planning the thing's gonna be really interesting. All you have to do is stay tuned, follow SKE.ENT on Instagram, and keep those eyes out for the free tickets, free giveaways, free $5 tickets, and everything. But we are planning a lot of things coming soon.
I always like to ask this question, right? Is obviously to do something like this, it takes a lot of work. I know you've done, many things. What would you say is your driving force, or to sum it up, what is your why?
When at 3 in the morning, I'm standing by the security guard, talking to him, and he's telling me like, "Man, I'm having fun," and I'm looking inside at the people dancing, and having life and enjoying and not worry about anything, just be in the moment. Nobody's recording anything. Just stay having fun. That's make me happy. That's the high that I want to get every time.
Yeah.
That's you can't change. That's the high that I'm chasing every time. To look at like they just having fun, blasting, dancing.
Hmm. Wow.
That's my why.
Wow. Awesome. Well, I'm hoping I'm able to make it out, or definitely I'm
Yeah.
I'm excited about making out, I should say.
Mm.
And man, thank you so much for coming on. And
Thank you for
Ski,
having us.
once again, thank you so much for coming, man,
Mm.
and we're looking forward to the event.
Same guys. I will have you guys over there. Like looking forward to working with you guys again.
yeah,
Thank you.
Awesome.
likewise, man.
Thank you guys.
Likewise.
Brother.
Thank you guys for coming on.